What's up everybody, Tesmer here. I am a farmer's insurance agent here in the state of California, and today we're going to talk about how to pass your property and casualty license on the very first try. So I've been an insurance agent here for a year now. Was in real estate before, but the overall lifestyle and money-making opportunities are better in insurance. That's just my personal opinion. We'll probably get into that in future videos, but this is about how to pass your property and casualty license. And so let's explain how I did it, and it's pretty much foolproof. You can do it too as long as you just follow these steps. Okay, so step number one, we are going to go to ExamFX.com, okay? So this is the website that I use, and there's a couple other ones, but this is the one that I've seen that is probably the most widely used. And so what ExamFX is the Department of Insurance. It requires you to read, at least in California, I'm pretty sure it's very similar in the other states. So you're gonna need 40 hours of property and casualty studying, okay? Then there's also going to be 12 hours of code and ethics studying. Altogether 52 hours, but before you get to, saying that that's, too much time or whatever, I'm gonna explain how to make it shorter. So when we're going through ExamFX, okay, and then we buy the course, it's maybe, I believe it's about like 50, 60 bucks. It's not that expensive. So, and a lot of times, whoever you're gonna be working for, they'll end up paying for it. Reach out to them and see who's gonna pay for it. It's probably a good first step. So then what we're gonna do is, so for the 40 hours of reading for property and casualty in ExamFX, it's broken into about 25 different chapters. Each chapter, it's gonna have maybe about like an hour or two of reading that's in it. There's gonna be little videos and things you can click on, and it's all fun and dandy, but it really doesn't matter that much. So the whole point of ExamFX is to get through it. You're gonna read it, but don't seriously dig into every word. Oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? You're just gonna be wasting your time. We wanna get through it. We wanna read through it, okay? We wanna kind of be grasping it. So just when you read through it, be able to explain, okay, this is what I read about. This is kind of like the outlines here. You don't want to be able to, teach a college class on the chapter that you just read, if you get what I mean. Go through it. Then when you get to the end of that chapter, there's going to be a 10-question quiz. This quiz does not matter at all, okay? If you get 10 out of 10 correct, awesome. If you get 0 out of 10 correct, awesome. It doesn't matter. It has no implications on how you move forward in, through the studying process. Then we're going to go to chapter 2. Same thing. Kind of go through it. Okay, I get it. Okay. And then just take the quiz, all right? We're going to go through all 25 chapters, and this should take, depends how quick you study, or if you're fast, or like to go through it a little bit slower. It should take you about 2 weeks. That's what it took me. And at that time, I wasn't working. I was in between real estate and then getting my P&C license. It took me about 2 weeks to kind of read through everything. And so the key thing here is when we're reading through it, if we get through all of the 40 hours, and I put that in quotations because it's not always 40 hours, so we're gonna read through it. Let's say it took you 25 hours, okay? There's a little clock on top of the page, and it's gonna be seeing how long you're on that page. So let's say you finish doing all of your reading, you can be watching TV and just kind of move the mouse, every once in a while, or move your laptop around, and that will keep the clock going, okay? And so as long as you get through it and get your 40 hours, they're gonna send you a certificate. Then once you have that certificate, you're good to go. Then when we move to code and ethics, so code and ethics is even less important than property and casualty. Yes, you wanna read through it. This one I would go even faster. Basically, don't ever in insurance lie, cheat, or steal. That's pretty much all it says. That's pretty self-explanatory, right? We never want to do that. So we're gonna go through that. It takes about 12 hours. The 10-question quiz, go right through it. Pass, great. Fail, great, whatever. Again, we want 12 hours for that. Once we hit 12 hours on the clock, you can move your mouse, move the laptop, you're good to go. All right, now the second part that we want to do is we're going to go to PreLicensingcom, okay? And this is where it's actually really important. What I would recommend doing is having probably 2 weeks of time now before our exam. We're gonna want to spend 2 weeks, maybe 3 hours at least, 3 hours probably a day on PreLicensing.com, going through the practice tests so that we're ready to take the test in about 2 weeks. So with PreLicensing.com, they're gonna have all of the chapters that we went through with ExamFX, but the questions are gonna be very, very similar to what is on the actual exam. So this, it's just practice tests over and over. You can purchase the lectures and other things, but I know people whose English is their second language, and they did PreLicensing.com, just the practice tests, and they passed. They completely blew through ExamFX. They didn't even read it, just blew through it. Really, really, really meticulously went through PreLicensing.com, and they passed. So what we're gonna wanna do is go through each chapter, but make sure that we're getting 80% on each quiz before we move on. That way it's really gonna show that you know it. And then when we go through it, at the end of the quiz, it's going to tell you what you missed and how. Okay, number 7 was C. It's gonna tell you why, all right? So we're just gonna keep going through each level till we get 80%, 80%, 80%, 80%. Then once you can do the general exam and get at least 80%, you are almost guaranteed that you're going to pass the real exam, okay? So that's what we really want to focus on, is PreLicensing.com, and I believe it's $10 for 1 week's worth of time. So if you're going to do it for 2 weeks, it's $20. But it's worth it because you will guarantee 100%. If you just go through ExamFX, the test is going to be very hard. If you do PreLicensing.com and do the exams over and over and over again, especially the general exams, you will pass, okay? That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what the people who I know, English is their second language, and they passed no problem, just doing that. So just wanted to provide this video for anyone who's looking to get your property and casualty license. Hope it was helpful. And if anybody needs a free quote for home, auto, life, commercial, reach out in the state of California. My email's linked below. I'd be happy to hear from you and provide you with a free quote. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.